Oh, hi, Danny.
Hi, Emma.
How are you?
I'm fine. You?
Yeah, good. We're in the amazing Monaco. We were just at the Monaco E-Prix yesterday.
We were, yeah. It was
How was
exhausting. Exhausting.
Exhausting. It was exhausting.
It was wonderful, but exhausting. Yeah.
Thank you for joining me
Thank you for inviting me again.
in the beautiful country of Monaco.
Yep.
Yeah, yesterday was a very, very long day.
It was indeed.
The race activities for us started at
7:30.
7:30, although 6:45 for you because you had to go to the
The meeting. Yeah.
It was an amazing day.
It was an amazing day, full of experiences. So we saw Sambird going off.
Yes, so let's start with that actually. We ended up at Sandevot right at the moment. Sambird locked up and went off.
Yep.
That was the big, I guess, event that happened at the start of the day. We later found out that he fractured his hand and was out of the race again.
Yeah, his same hand. Yeah, it's a shame because after a brilliant race in Sao Paulo and victory, finally.
Yes.
After 2 really bad years. So I think Sam deserved to come back and with style, as he did.
Yeah.
I think he was getting back his motivation, his style, his driving passion again. And it's a shame that it ended up this way now.
We saw him get out of the car. At the time, so as soon as he got out of the car, we saw him
checking his hand.
Yeah,
totally.
You noticed that. And we were talking to Sam Smith and Alice Holloway from the race.
Yeah.
They were the ones who told us that he was out of the race.
Yep.
The same fracture that he did in London.
2
years ago. What do you think it means now for the next race in Berlin in 2 weeks?
It means that she's not going to be there, of course.
Yeah.
He's out. So let's see how long is he out of the championship. So I hope Sam takes the time to have a good cure, to have the hand in shape, and come back the strongest as possible, because I think he has been featuring 2 really difficult years at Jaguar.
Yes.
And he overcome them. And I was really happy for him to see him win again. You know, he's one of my favorites. So I was really happy. I told you. Didn't I tell you? Yeah. He is.
You said that yesterday before the race that you had a good feeling about McLaren.
I had a good feeling because McLaren was in pole position last year.
Yes.
It's a Hughes.
Yes,
exactly. That. English can be difficult. I don't know. They were consistent in Sao Paulo. They were consistent in Italy. So I thought it was a good race for them. Unfortunately, it wasn't.
Yes.
At all.
Ended up being a very difficult race. We will talk a little bit more about that. So Sambird's injury yesterday meant that it was quite an unexpected debut for Liam McLaren's reserve driver, Taylor Barnett. He jumped straight in at free practice 2.
20 minutes before.
20 minutes.
They noticed him. Yeah. They told him. So that should have been a roller coaster of emotions, especially at that age. You know that at that age, everything is massive.
Unbelievable.
So it's incredible, yeah?
Yeah, he actually did a really good job. We will talk about the race more, but I do want to talk about him because he did such a good job. He stayed out of trouble, and there was a lot of trouble going on. There was I don't know how many drivers we saw. How many drivers we saw without their nose, without their wings. Yeah. He stayed out of trouble.
Yep.
He did a really, really solid drive.
Just drove smartly.
Yeah.
So that's what you're supposed to do when you are a reserve driver. So I think he won not an achievement, but it was quite an achievement for him.
Yeah.
And for the team, I think they might be really proud of him and super happy. So.
And it's very likely that he will be driving in Berlin. I don't know if he was doing
most likely, yeah.
Any of the tests or anything, but he's going to be.
Most likely. I do think so too, yeah. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. And Berlin is a good track to be a rookie, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not as narrow as Monte Carlo. You have 2 days to learn it. So first day, I mean, he's not winning or losing a championship this year.
No.
So there's no pressure on him.
He just needs to do a solid
He shouldn't take any pressure on himself. Just enjoy it and learn a lot. Now, on the first day, Berlin is a double header. On the first day, he can take its time to just land the track.
Yeah.
And then race the next day.
Yeah.
So no matter if he is, of course, for the team, he will need to score points, of course. The more points he scores, the better. But let's take out the pressure out of him. And I would say it is quite more relaxed environment than Monte Carlo, when it is just one header, a one-off. And if you win in Monte Carlo, you are a superstar. If you crash at Monte Carlo, you're nobody,
No.
let's say. So this is a really hard racetrack to make a debut at. And I think he just played smart, and he's going to have his chance in Berlin to just show off and learn more about Formula E. So,
and credit to the Neon McLaren team as well. They must have, they clearly supported him.
Yeah,
they must have given him some good advice.
I saw a picture of Sam actually with him, with his hand
in a cap. It was wrapped up, wasn't it?
Wrapped up, yeah. Just speaking to him and with the engineers and being with him. So I think that's massive and I don't know, great for Sam. And I think that's team spirit. So well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
And then, wishing him the best. And
speedy and great recovery.
Yeah, my mom's going to be devastated.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So we're giving, I guess, listeners a photographer's view of the Monaco E-Prix because we watch, all of it.
Yep.
Trackside. That means that often we don't really understand what's going on. I recall when the duels happened, it was just looking down. Okay, a Jaguar's got through, a Penske's got through. And then trying to figure out
you need to find somewhere where you can find a screen or have a really good watch on you.
Yes.
And then keep the timing. Learn the timing and how is it going.
Yeah.
And otherwise you're going to be just standing at one spot. You learned it from last year that we were just marking 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Go.
And I use my phone for that. I set alarms each 10 minutes. And then I with that method, I understand that I have to move out.
But at the same time, we're still, enjoying what's going on. And
totally.
When we saw that the Penske, DS Penske had got the pole, I was quite surprised. I thought, you thought, I think most people thought that the Jaguars would be on pole.
Yep. Well, I thought Jake Dennis will be on pole, actually.
Really?
Really. I think he's the strongest driver of the season.
I think
and
so
of the
too,
championship.
But he doesn't have a good record here.
Yeah, but as Mitch has proven, that ends up one day. So I thought that was the day. Yesterday was the day for Jake. But that didn't went that well.
Yeah. So the race itself, we ended up going to Sandevot.
Sandevot.
Of it.
Yeah.
It was completely packed as always.
Yeah.
Good spot though. For people, I'll post some pictures of Sandevot if you're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I really like being there for the start. It's quite tense because you can't see the starting grid. You know it's just around the corner.
Yeah.
And so you kind of see a little bit of light from the red lights from the starting line.
That's because the straight is not straight.
Yes.
It's cornering. So then that's difficult. That makes it difficult when you're standing and there are like 20 photographers more trying to
the cameras ready
and checking the light, because yes, photographers do take a lot of pictures checking light prior the departure or prior anything. So you hear one guy, and if one guy is shooting like, I don't know, 4 pictures per second, then everybody it's just starting a war. As a photographer, I've been here also as a Formula 1 photographer. Of course, there are more photographers, so it's more stressful. There are the same gaps for more people. So everyone wants to take the same shots because it's Monaco. You have to do this shot, that shot, that shot. So sign the board, tunnel exit, chicane, the push chicane, finish.
Basically where all the TV cameras are.
Exactly, totally, yeah. Pictures you see on TV, that's the pictures that everyone wants to have.
Yep.
So if you discover something else, that's an extra, that's a bonus, that's great. But you have to do some shots. And here at Formula E, even though you have less time, I think it's easier to just cooperate with other photographers and in any of the sessions, just get the shots you want done.
So the race itself, I think I knew who was going to win from the start. To be honest.
Yeah.
I just kept saying it to you.
I know.
I think Mitch has gotten this. Jumping to the end.
All right.
It was Jaguar's day.
It was
TCS racing.
Yeah.
First of all, I think the running joke throughout this season, in terms of me predicting
Jaguar
race winners and the champion, I've been saying Mitch Evans from the start.
Yeah.
I finally feel vindicated. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But I say that for Monaco specifically because 3 years in a row before this, he was so close. He lost to Antonio
Totally.
Costa, Stoffel Van Dorn, and then Nick Cassidy.
Yeah. Been here 3 times, actually. Yes.
So actually,
it's my fault.
Yeah. The curse.
Totally.
When we were watching free practice,
Yes.
when we were watching qualifying,
Yes.
the duels, we were where Mitch made the mistake coming out.
We
of the
were,
tunnel.
the exit of the tunnel at the chicane.
The chicane.
Have some
We were
picture of
there,
it.
and
It just locked up and went straight. Yeah. Totally.
It was, I think, unexpected that Jaguar weren't on pole. But then during the race, from the moments that we saw around the track, when we got the chance to see a screen, they ended up having a really, really good strategy where they basically played a team game.
Yeah.
Cassidy would go and take attack mode. Mitch would sort of take the guard and then vice versa.
Yes, and they had a pace. So they have a gap, actually, to the third, to Stoffel, for example, all the time. They maintain it. So that was incredible. That was super strategy. Yeah.
I think Cassidy and Evans could have fought for the win, but from what I heard from other journalists on the radio, they were pretty much just holding the line. Yeah. So, I don't think Mitch could have won without the team's backing, without Nick's backing. When we saw them both in the press conference, you could tell there was a lot of pride. Yeah. But Nick was incredibly happy for Mitch. Mitch was, I think, a little bit emotional. He lost his mentor recently. Yeah. And so, if anything, the real loser of the day was Stoffel. And I know it was his first podium in, 2 years?
And what a way to be a loser, becoming third at Monte Carlo.
Very, very harsh.
So I don't think there was a big loser in the podium. I will say some championship contenders were losing more than podium winners, of course.
Yeah.
And about Jaguar, there are so many things to say. So I understand they were all excited. Mitch finally got his maiden win in Monte Carlo. Nick is leading or fighting for the championship. I understand Mitch just willing to win and Nick willing to back up because I think Nick is just thinking about the championship now, not only about winning races. So I think he was playing smart.
Kind of like what Van Dorn did 2 years ago when he didn't get, I think the only win I remember him getting was in Monaco.
Yeah.
But then he was just consistently scoring really good points. You think Cassidy is doing that?
I'm not sure, but I think he's playing smart. I mean, it's no wonder if he's ending second or first in Monte Carlo. Of course, he's won already. Yeah. So he had no need to win. Yes, there are extra points, but becoming second, letting Mitch win, not fighting Mitch, is getting you out of trouble, and also paying respect to your friend and your team colleague. So I think that was really smart from both of them and from the team side. Also, they are collecting points, both cars.
Yes.
So that is also really, really important for them.
And the first team to ever do a 1-2 in Monaco for Formula E.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. They were really strong, actually, this weekend.
Yeah. They deserved it. I'm very happy for them. Let's talk about some of the incidents that we saw.
Okay.
I think we were halfway up towards the tunnel when we heard a big bang.
Yes.
Which turned sort of smoke.
Yeah.
Turned out to be Mortara going into the wall.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tabac, was it? Where was it?
After Tabac. You pass Tabac and then there is the Nouvelle chicane, I think it is. Or the chicane before the swimming pool. Yeah.
Yes.
He lost the car. I don't know what happened there.
I think he lost the car he was fighting. It was a wreck. We saw it.
Yeah.
It was a wreck.
Yeah, totally.
I'll post a photo of it.
Totally, yeah.
But it was destroyed and the barrier itself, they had to do a safety car.
Yeah.
not a good day for him.
That would have been a red flag in Formula One, I would say.
No doubt.
Totally.
Why wasn't it a red flag here then?
No clue. I guess race direction is different, and they have different notes or standards. I don't know, really.
No, completely fair. We saw quite a few drivers without their front wings, notably Jake Hughes, Norman
Nato, Chick Dennis.
Dennis. So definitely an Andretti.
I think they were both Andretti's now, I think. So yeah, both Andretti's, McLaren, and then Nick Debris, which is having a really, really bad season, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel for Nick. He is very popular.
Yeah.
On Friday around the paddock, especially when they had some of the public come into the pit lane, he was swarmed. He is so popular.
He is popular.
Yeah. Primarily because he's a Formula E champion. He was also in Formula One. He's had a difficult return to Formula E.
Yeah.
I hope that, he seems well. He seems happy, content. And this is just from the outside, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't seem overtly
overwhelmed.
Yeah, but as we can tell, maybe the Mahindra car could just do with a little bit of work. They're going through a huge restructure right now. They've had a lot of changes in personnel over the last few years. I love that team. I love the Mahindra team. I love the people there.
They've been here forever, so you gotta love them. It takes them some time until they win again and they win confidence. So thinking maybe Nick is lacking some confidence. I don't know if on the car, on the team. I don't know. We saw it on Sunbird last 2 years. The 2 seasons he's been at Jaguar, I think he was not really mentally in shape. Let's say because when you see you're fighting and fighting, and then you keep crashing, that has to be really difficult. So I think the level of stress in those guys' heads is incredibly tough and rough. So I think you have to be really, really strong in your head. So maybe after Nick's departure from Formula One, because it was ruthless. It was ruthless, and he did really great appearances for different teams the previous season. Yeah. It was the surprise. Everybody was like, wow, that guy is quick. And then he got a drive and the things were not working as he expected. So I think from this point of view, since that point on time, he might feel it, I think, to be honest as well, I really love Daniel Ricciardo, but he's not performed well. It's the same. In that seat that he took over from De Vries. Yeah. And I think De Vries is probably looking at that going, look, you replaced me with Daniel Ricciardo, who is also not doing well. Yeah. And obviously, there was more to that move than just performance. Yeah. But ultimately, Nick didn't get a full season. He got replaced by someone who is not doing well. That's going to hurt when you're here and you see that the person who took your job is not performing. You must feel like it's... Totally. Yeah. Totally. So I think it's difficult times for them. Yeah. But hopefully he will just find a way to overcome that and come back stronger, because that's what you said. He's a Formula E champion. Yeah. And Formula E deserves to have the champions at least fighting for points, at least constantly. I hope so too. Yeah. So now that Monaco is over, we are halfway through the season, over halfway through the season. Double header in Berlin next. Double header, which I'm going to be there, which is very exciting. Brilliant. You're not. I'm not. I'm going to be here for the Monaco Historic. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, it's a big shame. It's such a shame that you're going to be back here in lovely Monaco. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time. Look at that view. It's just the worst, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to have a good time hearing engine screaming. Yes. Which is something I really like. So yeah, it's going to be great. I hope you have a lot of fun. Thank you. Hopefully, yes. The double header in Berlin is the first time I'm going to Berlin for Formula E. I'm very excited. You're going to enjoy it. What advice do you have for me? And you can't give me track advice because I heard that they've changed the layout. Yeah, they changed it. Yeah, they changed, but they usually change it year by year. Not massively. They used to make quite big changes this year. Then walk it fully on FP1. Okay. Every single day. Let's hope that my ankle is better by that point. That's my... Just a side note that yesterday,
I don't know how many miles. Did you see how many miles we covered yesterday?
I know it's in kilometers. It was 13 kilometers.
13 kilometers.
So 10 miles.
10 miles yesterday.
Yeah.
What you say 10 miles doesn't feel like a lot, but if you imagine the amount of hills up and down, carrying very heavy equipment, cameras,
being in a rush.
My ankle was gone.
Yeah.
I was hobbling most of the way around the circuit yesterday. If it's better in 2 weeks, yes, I will walk the track in its entirety.
Yeah, in Berlin it's just plain, so it's easy. It's no difficult to walk it. It's really, really simple. I really like Berlin. It's a shame I'm missing it because it was my debut race in season 4, back so many years ago now. 2018. I like it. I don't know. It's different, I think it suits Formula E perfectly.
Is it a bit like London?
It is a bit like London, but I think it's even easier. I mean, London, like in Monte Carlo, you got to know the places. You got to know the doors. You got to know the stairs. You got to know where are you going. Just find the spot you want. Berlin, you just walk it.
Just walk around.
That's it. Yeah, it's really easy. Literally really easy. Nice. So enjoy it. It's brilliant.
Who's going to win in Berlin for either race?
So, just to spice the mix a little bit, I would really like to see Antonio Felix da Costa back on top.
Yes.
Because I saw him on top in Italy. I've been in Misano, and everybody was super happy for him.
And then it got very unfairly taken away from him.
Not going to say anything about it. I'll just keep it for myself. But yeah, it's a shame he didn't win. So hopefully Antonio, I think now is passing by something actually really hard again, because he got his motivation back. There were talks about he's going to replace him, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he won. It just made everybody be quiet. And now the rumors, I guess, they're starting again, or they should start again, because he had issues here. He had issues on the second round in Misano. So hopefully Antonio. Also, I'm from the peninsula, the Iberian Peninsula.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, Portuguese are kind of our brothers. So it's the only driver from the Iberian Peninsula in the Formula E grid. So I root for him too. I root for everybody. But, Antonio has this plus a little bit. That's going to be for the first race, I would say. And to spice it up, I also really like a lot Oliver Rowland. I would say
Oliver Rowland.
So I would say Ollie.
Yeah.
Second race.
I love that you said spice it up, but made probably the most predictable prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Towers.
No.
I thought it was the Towers.
In Berlin, I think.
Spice up the championship, let's say. That was my thought.
Okay.
Now it's going to be Berlin. It's going to be Nick Cassidy. It's going to be, whoever. But yeah, it's going to be Mitch.
I'm just going to have to keep it going. But, I think Jaguar's going to win. And
yeah. No, but okay. So let me think. But I think Nick Cassidy is going to play smart. If he can win, he's going to win. But he doesn't need to win. Jake Dennis, he needs to recover. And he's been good at Berlin, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Now I can be mistaken totally. So I think he's willing to win in Berlin. Maybe Nissan powertrains.
You're just listing everyone now.
Yeah,
you're just listing
everyone.
You're very neutral.
Can you imagine that Mortara wins both days?
That would be
amazing.
Let's go with that.
That would be incredible.
Well,
that would be a thing.
I'm saying goodbye to Monaco for the year. I'll be back next year. Yeah. You're saying goodbye to Monaco for just 2 weeks.
Yep, totally.
Danny Gonzalez, fellow photographer friend. Are you going to be in London?
I'm going to be in London.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to join you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
And if people want to follow you.
Yeah, my Instagram is Red5isalive. And then from then on, you can find my website and other stuff I have online. So yeah, please follow.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.